Hello and welcome to the next instalment of our road trip. As was professionally introed by Rafa at the beginning of the video, we have entered Romania. As you can see from the footage, very flat to begin with. However, it does get a bit hilly later on, as you will see. It was very much a drive-through visit to Romania, but we did see a lot of scenery, so very nice to see. A very beautiful country to drive through. The quality of the buildings in the country seemed to vary greatly, and there were some that were very modern, very nice looking. There were some older ones that were also very nice looking and still well built. But then there was a fair few that just looked a bit run down and a little bit neglected, and I suppose that's probably par for the course in the Eastern European countries where they've not had the best of histories and had hard times. But I can see that the country is progressing and getting more modern. And it wasn't long until we were up into the mountainous regions. The road, although well laid, was only single carriageway each way. So if you got caught behind something, you were caught behind it for a little while unless you could find a spot to overtake. So don't expect a rushed journey. As you can see, we're stuck behind a lorry. They don't go too slow, but we could go faster. But yeah, the scenery, as you can see again here, was spectacular in places. There's some very nice views. And even on the mountains, you still had these flat areas, which was a little bit interesting. And as I mentioned before, the houses and that, although there are some very nice houses, a lot of them do look quite poor and a little bit run down. But in general, the place seemed quite nice. Didn't take us long in the mountains to start coming across these little villages and towns, and a lot of them seem to be quite densely packed in with their houses as well, but always seemed to be something going on. Like there you see a little gazebo up and someone selling stuff. But in between these villages there was also these houses that were just spread out along the road, some of them partially built like that one, but they seem to be little farmsteads or homesteads as people call them, and they seem to have a nice bit of agriculture going on, but they always seem to just all of a sudden have these apartment blocks appear out of nowhere. I get a feeling these were left over from the previous eras, shall we say, where housing was just a thing that they threw up and chucked all the people in. So these were slight eyesores, to be honest, but then some very nice looking houses next to them. In a lot of the places where it wasn't river like you can see here, it was very agricultural, Romania. They seemed to grow a lot of fruit and vegetables. And then you also had this town here that we drove through on the way to our campsite. I'll try and put the name of it on the screen. But it almost seemed like a holiday resort. But it didn't seem like there was a lot of people there, but it was a very beautiful sort of bit of scenery around the town, right on the edge of the Danube, or one of the little bits leading into the Danube, I'm not totally sure. And yeah, looked like lots of little boat tours or something there. Would have been interesting to have a little stop and stay. As you can see here, a nice little bar type place on the riverfront, and a good selection of boats and their little jetties going out to them. It definitely could be some kind of tourist destination, although Having a quick look on Wikipedia, it just says that it's a port city or port town. So I don't know whether they do have a lot of tourism or not. I believe that bit of land in the distance there, I think that was Serbia, so quite close to that, but I understand that it's not the most friendly country with some of its neighbours, and so sometimes the borders can be a little bit trickier to get through. Well, I understand it's depending on where you're heading to after you've left. My knowledge of Romanian history is not the best, but I do believe it was one of the Soviet republics, in which case you can see a lot of the remnants of that with some architecture. There's some very industrial looking buildings that aren't obviously of industry, but maybe the governmental buildings or something like this, but they're very much the kind of building that's just there for a purpose, not to look particularly great. But then there are some very nice looking places as well, some of the more modern places or even some of the even older places. So it's a very mixed bag of a country for its architectural style, and some of it is very, very pretty. As we're heading down this bit, we're very much closing in on our campsite. Unfortunately, I didn't take a lot of footage of the campsite this time, but hopefully we can rectify that in a future video. As you can see, we're very close to the Danube River there, and this is literally the little pathway that leads to the campsite. Now, although I didn't get footage of the actual campsite, I did manage to get my drone in the air, get a little bit of footage above the campsite. So, as you can see, some spectacular views over the Danube. Very nice area and a very nice sunset to go with it. But yeah, that's the campsite from the air. They had a nice kitchen area and toilet block and shower block. Lots of area for the campers and the caravanners, but we shall see that in a future video when we pass back through. Good morning from Romania.
Good morning.
Well, we have left a campsite that I didn't get much videoing done at. I got a little bit of drone footage, but I've been having a bit of an issue with a spider bite. Now, of all the places to get bitten, it was on the ferry across from the UK to France.
It's been slightly getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So yesterday we had to get that sorted, so you didn't get a lot of chance to do more videos about the campsite.
It was, my ankle when we got there was rather large, so had to sort that out. But
it's a beautiful morning here now.
Yeah, campsite was quite nice. I think we are going to be stopping there on the way back as well, so hopefully get a bit of footage then. It was quite a dusty campsite, so yeah, if you've got a ground tent, expect dust.
It was nice though. The facilities are clean.
Yeah.
You know, they had a washing machine as well. They had 2 little hobs that you could use as well, pots and pans.
Fridges and freezers and stuff.
Yeah, tables and chairs. kind of
eating
thing.
area sort of thing.
So it's quite nice. And it was right by the river as well, which some people chose to go in and have a swim.
Other people didn't choose to go in and have a swim, they just fell in.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, that was Lana.
Two of the kids by the river, so they sat by the water on the steps, and they were splashing about with their feet and their legs, and next thing Lana's splashing with her hands and loses her balance and falling. So I grabbed her out straight away.
Yeah. No, you left her there.
But so yeah, so now we're on our way to
Yes. Our
the
next stop.
place.
Hmm?
Yeah.
We're giving anything away today.
Until
Although-
the next video.
Yeah, although people may be able to figure it out due to the route we're taking, because we've just driven through a little town called Orsova or something like that, which we thought is
The
very
view is lovely.
unusual. Can you get a bit of that for you?
That is very nice.
Yeah. It's got a whole waterfront area that looks like it should be a really popular tourist resort, because it's got like little boats and like umbrellas where like by the entrances to them, as though you'd get someone selling the boat tours and whatever from there. But doesn't
And the
seem
little
to
cruises
actually-
don't seem to be that expensive either, do they?
No, but there didn't seem to be a lot going on there. I mean, we drove through at a reasonable-ish time yesterday.
It was a Monday as well.
Yeah. But then it's also random you get buildings like this thing coming up, which I would say is very reminiscent of the communist era and all that. Just a large brick thing that was probably useful in whatever it does, but not exactly aesthetically pleasing.
Next to the train lines. Anyway,
But yeah, didn't on the bad side, that one. I
no.
mean, lady was friendly enough. I mean, the
Don't expect any other language than Romanian.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even with Google translators. But,
oh, someone's had an issue.
as soon as we got to our spot, she noticed that our power cable wasn't long enough.
Yeah,
And before we knew it, she just appeared with this massive extension so that we wouldn't have to park on an unleveled surface, isn't it?
yeah. Well, and to park where she wanted us to park as well.
Yeah, but she wasn't that bothered, is it?
Weren't exactly
There's a lot
close
of
to
camper,
anyone.
there's a lot of campers there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Or motorhomes.
I mean, if you have a motorhome, I think this journey would be even more comfortable than our one, because stopping and starting with a motorhome in some of these places, you can just get in there and park up, can't you? Whereas we have a little bit of a setup time and all that, so
It's gonna go
can't see.
in my life.
Oh well. Romanian drivers in Romania, I should say. I don't know what they're like elsewhere, but here they're questionable, shall we say? I mean,
You get people overtaking, and you know they can't quite make it, and everyone just like opens way a little bit
yeah.
on a 2-lane, one each way. It
Although most of the lorry drivers around here are pretty good.
Yeah.
If they see a spot you can get past, they'll actually get right over as far as they can to get you through. So,
yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, we shall catch up with you all in a bit on our next stop. But we're doing a little bit of a multiple stop day on our way to it's our final destination today.
that's what we're gonna spend more than one night on
Yeah, but we are going to go around there as well.
and visit. So we'll report back later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. If you're ever thinking of driving through Romania, I would definitely recommend this road. It has one of the best views I've had driving along a river. Yes, you can see it there looking across towards Serbia. but there are so many nice views, and especially when the weather's like it is here, you can just drive and cruise down the river road and enjoy yourself. It is spectacular in so many different ways, and there's also lots of these little pull-ins and lay-bys where you can just stop, have a stretch, and just enjoy looking at the sights. And especially on a day like today, you can see just how blue that sky is. I mean, it's not often you get a clear sky like that. Well, maybe it is in Romania, but not in England where we live. And the river just looks spectacular. There also seemed to be this little train line going along next to it, so if there is a way you could take a train down the edge of the river, that would be nice too. Then we've made it to a local city, and yes, that is a Lidl. There is one everywhere, and it seemed quite a nice little place. Nice tree-lined avenues and a nice place to stop possibly, but unfortunately we were on a mission. Yes, this video was very much a drive-through video. We've passed through Romania, nearly all the way through now. As you've seen, lots of the scenery, quite a nice travel through the country. Saw the towns and the villages and a lot of countryside and mountains. But yes, I do hope you'll join us on our next video when we're going to head into something a little bit more built up. And we'll see you there.